So this is a video I've been meaning to do for several days. It's actually from Zero Hedge. It was posted on the 22nd of January. And I started deleting a bunch of my old, do video emails to myself because I just had so many. And they're 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. I'm like, man, I just forget it. There's plenty of new news to talk about. But I saw this one. I was like, no, I need to bring this one back from the dead, the deleted box in my email. Because this is not just going to be Venezuela. This is going to be, honestly, a lot of countries here shortly. And it could be yours, honestly, in the future. This is what the death of a nation looks like. Venezuela prepares for 720% hyperinflation. Courtesy Zero Hedge. For citizens of Nicolas Maduro's socialist paradise, the news is terrible and getting worse with every passing day. And I'm going to stop for 1 second and say this until you want to punch me in the face, because I've said this so many damn times. You're going to want to punch me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Here you go. Feel better? Good. If you have gold and silver and you live in Venezuela, holy crap. You would think you were just won the lottery, depending on how much silver and gold you had. But the dollar crisis over there is insane. Their currency, not the dollar as in the US dollar, their currency, it is in crisis mode. If you have precious metals, as your currency crisis goes, oh my God, how much is stuff costing? Oh my God, and there's shortages of certain things. Oh, I've got some silver and gold, or either one. Boom, sell that baby off. Give me a massive amount of cash of Venezuelan dollars, and I go and buy the expensive stuff. It doesn't change. I just use gold and silver to pay for it. It's as if it was normal prices. Everything's good. Or you may find out, actually, I've just had to sell a tiny bit of my silver to buy a whole bunch of stuff. That worked out even better for me. Yesterday, which is a couple weeks ago yesterday, we reported at Zero Hedge that 1 year after our November 2014 forecast, Barclays has decided that Venezuela is now past the point of no return, and a bankruptcy in 2016 will be difficult to avoid. Keeping in mind, remember when their previous president got the country's gold back, demanded it back from the Western clubs, and we didn't like that. As you can see, we're putting the pressure on Venezuela. And then they had to sell the gold back to the open market to pay some bills and keep the system afloat over there. So hooray, we got our gold back. And then a short period later, oh, we're selling it off. Boy, you got to give the club some credit. I mean, seriously, you got to give the club some credit. They know, they're like masters at chess. They know exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and it's almost like not even masters of chess. It's almost like you're playing somebody chess, and in a chess match, and they're really into it, and they're playing serious, and they're good. They know what they're doing. But when you make a move, you actually make them make a move, and they don't even know it. That's what the club does. Oh, you want your gold back? Oh, kind of like the Jack's Links beef jerky commercial. Messing with Sasquatch. Hey, buddy, you want your gold back? Yeah, come on over here. Try it over here. I didn't know you wanted it back. There you go, buddy. Yeah, take that. Good. Yeah, we told you we were storing it for you. Yeah, all right. Watch this. Watch. Now, that's when they mess with Sasquatch. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, you need to sell it? Oh, yeah, the price has come down a little bit since you got it back. We'll buy it from you, though. Yeah, no problem. Give us the gold back. Here's your paper, unbacked money. Have a nice day. Guys, we got the gold back. And we got it for cheaper than what it was worth when he got it from us. That's what the club does. But while some may have thought that this dramatic impact, while welcomed by the rest of the OPEC and oil bulls around the globe, would only impact the government, the reality is that this latest hit means a total disintegration of the economy and will take the country's already staggering hyperinflation to previously unprecedented levels. What I just said to you in Chinese is go buy some gold, silver. That's what that means. According to the latest IMF estimate, Venezuela's consumer inflation, already the world's highest, will triple this year to a level above all estimates from economists surveyed by Bloomberg. This is because the IMF, which until recently had predicted only 204% inflation for Venezuela, already higher than the 140% consensus, revised its numbers and now sees a mind-blowing 750% hyperinflation for 2016. This means that the average price of products and services will increase over 8 times over the span of the next 12 months. Bloomberg reports that inflation will surge to 720% in 2016 from 275% last year, according to a note published by the IMF's Western Hemisphere Director, Alejandro Werner. That's nearly quadruple the median 184% estimate from 12 economists surveyed by Bloomberg, and exceeding the highest forecast of 700% from Noroma Securities. So, 275% last year, expected to surge past 720% this year. That equates to roughly 2.5 times or so what it's at. In other words, I'm buying precious metals today, or 2015 last year with our 275% inflation, and in preparation for 750 potentially percent inflation this year, which means 275 plus 275 is 550. Add another 275, right? We're a little over 720, but it's close. It's close to 3 times the value. Could you imagine saying, man, in 2015, I've got some precious metals, and in 2016, they're going to be worth 3 times the value that they're worth today. And I'm going to ask the question, what happens when Venezuela files for bankruptcy? What's going to happen to their currency at that point? What's the numbers going to show in 2017, 2018 perhaps? You may say, man, I have this little pile of silver or gold, and I've held on to it all these years. I pretended I didn't own it. I dealt with the pain and suffering like everyone else, and now I can safely sell it for ungodly amounts of money because my country's currency has absolutely collapsed. They've filed for bankruptcy, for God's sakes. Potentially. As they said, was that Bloomberg? Who was Barclays decided that Venezuela is now past the point of no return, and a bankruptcy in 2016 will be, quote, difficult to avoid. Remember that thing of the chess moves? The club's chess move is saying, we're bumping you off the board, you're going to file for bankruptcy. But we're going to put a little news story out there just to make it sound like we know what we're talking about, looking at economic indicators, and we're really actually doing it. We'll be pushing you off the cliff, essentially. Venezuela's central bank published economic statistics January 15th for the first time in a year, confirming that inflation had reached triple digits and closed the third quarter at 141.5% on an annual basis. As of December 2014, the last time data was released, inflation was just 68.5%. So it's doubled. And if we take that into account, we'll say it's going to double this year, and it'll double next year. But things might start compounding this year. So it may not just double, it may triple. Because there's a whole lot going on. And last year we didn't have $30 a barrel oil. I mean, we just started touching that in the end of the year, but the beginning of the year wasn't no $30 a barrel oil. Now there is. It has gotten so surreal that the local central bank accused websites that track the dollar's street value of destroying prices and installing a savage form of capitalism in the country, adding that 60% of inflation was the result of currency manipulation. Yes, my friends, that's a big 10-4. That is a big 10-4. How are currencies set? How the prices are how they determined? By the Forex market. Who controls the Forex market? The club. Oh, $30 barrel oil? How's that oil price set every day? Is it supply and demand? Nope. It's set on the COMEX market. Wall Street, essentially. Paper contracts, same thing. They set the price. Not OPEC, not the gas stations. They set the price on Wall Street. Pieces of derivatives papers. That's all. Piece of paper. Trading hands back and forth to the same party. That's why. So yes, your savage form of capitalism. Yes, you guys are correct on that assessment. Whatever the cause, the reality is that real inflation is even worse. And when charted, this is what the death of a sovereign nation looks like as follows. This does not assume a sovereign bankruptcy. When that happens, the hyperinflation will really take off, as I was just talking about. And I think I'll just want to give you a little taste of this chart. So we have 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016. Isn't that growing exponentially? That chart could literally be you looking at the price of gold and silver. 2013, well, it went up a little bit in 2014, okay. Wow, took a big jump in 2015. Holy crap, 2016. It's the same thing. As your currency dies, real money, gold and silver, will go up in your currency. Not because the price rose today. Oh, silver's up 30 cents and gold's up $15. No, I'm talking if they stayed flat all day, didn't move, or all year. They just stayed where they are today. That makes them extremely expensive in your country's currency, which also means when you go to sell them, it's going to cost somebody a lot of money to get them. I find it interesting that we have silver touching $15 right now. It's like a few pennies away from 15. Gold over $11.50 something right now. It's as if the club has changed the algorithm. Okay, we can now let it rise a little higher than it was before. Did that have anything to do with the London fix being rigged 84 cents below COMEX price? First time ever, as we discussed a few days ago. Was there something behind the scenes that happened that you and I don't know about yet? Did some derivatives explode behind the scenes? Or were they covered by that move? There's always a winner and always a loser. So, did that have something to do with the price rising? I have to say, I almost feel like no, because the club moves the price whenever they want to wherever they want to. But if that was absolutely true with 100% certainty, then why did they add the rule to the COMEX in November 2014 with not position limits, with circuit breakers installed in the market for gold and silver, where gold can't move more than $400 in a day, or that's the range. $100 moves in a certain amount of minutes will trigger a circuit breaker, and that can happen 4 times, so you have $400. Silver was $3 a move during a certain period of time, and if it moves $3, then boom, circuit breaker is triggered. They're not putting these in place for the price to collapse. They would have left it the way it was because they destroyed the prices from $1,900 gold down to $1,100, 10,000 or 1,000 something on the low, and silver was $50 down to $13.90, $80, $90, $14. They didn't need to do that. They only need to do that because they know the price is going to go up. So, do they have the full control this whole time? Because they would never do that. They would never need to do that. They wouldn't have to put those rules in place. So maybe there's just certain events as these derivatives explode and they realize it. Maybe they also realize there goes our game, our chess pieces with it, and they have to have another way to deal with the exponential price rise. So let's put in some circuit breakers. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But if you're in Venezuela, mm, mm, mm. Man, I hope you got some precious metals. Take care.